welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
Not as frustrated as you, but pretty freaking frustrated with this computer stuff here.
Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get everything together so that we could put on this podcast today was not easy.
Mm-mm.
And mostly because I am not tech savvy in any way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is what it is, you know.
Yeah. Sorry, Rob.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay. It happens. I understand, but it's just very hard when you know.
You're there,
I'm like,
you don't know what to look for?
And I'm like, it's right. Yeah, it's right there. But it is what it is. Like, you know, at the end of the day, we got it to work. So we just have to remember to make sure that you're not on mute and everything will be okay.
That would be a good start.
Mm-hmm.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, right. You know, life is a wild thing, Tina. And the more that people in my life go through speed bumps, the more I realize, like, it is difficult to go through heartbreak.
Oh, for sure.
And it can be, oh man. So I have someone in my life who's kind of going through something, and they haven't been in a ton of relationships. They're young. And they were kind of like talking to me about it. And in my head, I'm like, everything's going to be fine. Because I've already lived it a bunch of times.
And you've lived through it a bunch of times.
Right.
Yeah.
But those words never ring the same to someone who, for one, hasn't gone through it a lot.
Right.
And then second, you don't want to hear that while you're going through the shit.
That's so true.
But I think that, you know, you have to tell them that, right? And this goes for people who are going through heartache after, you know, 2-year relationship, a 4-year relationship, a 8-year, a 20-year. It's all heartbreak.
Mm-hmm.
How you handle that is different.
Yeah, for sure. I remember when we decided to get divorced, there was absolutely no talking. I mean, it helped that it was going through COVID, but I didn't tell anybody for the longest time. I don't know that he did. I have no idea, but I kind of sat with the heartache. Like, I really took it inward. But they say that women give up, like, after talking about it a long time, or men don't give up until the very end. So I just remember being really quiet and just trying to live day to day without crying. Like, that was a hard time in my life. And it was heartbreaking. I felt like a failure. I felt like I could have done more. I felt like, what did I do that the love didn't stay the way it did? It was torture. And of course, as much torture as you want to do to yourself is definitely, you know, added bonus to whatever you're already going through, because you're hurting enough. But then when you add the guilt, or you add the hurt, or whatever the hell you want to add to it, it doesn't get any better.
I mean, yes. Here's the thing that I'm trying to, because I'm going to have to go through this again here in the next couple of days. And I'm trying to think, like, what do I tell them to make it better? And I think that, like, you know, like I can talk about my divorce.
Yeah.
And say, hey, this did this. Because I kind of told him about recent things in my life where, because he goes to me and he's like, you know, I thought that this would be like the one. And I was like, yeah, like, you should. I mean, I think you should go into a lot of relationships hoping that it's the one.
Right.
But but that being said, I've put a lot of time into chasing people. Let's just say a lot of time. Like one person, I chased him for 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah. And I kind of threw that at them. I was like, look what I did. Chased this person for 8 years. And you know what I got? Nothing.
Yeah.
But what I did get from it is knowledge.
Okay.
And look, no one wants to hear that shit when you're going through, heartache.
At all.
I mean, yeah, you're 100% right, Tina. We generally don't want to hear it, period. At all. That is 100% true.
Yeah.
But that being said, later on, it is easier to digest.
Yes.
Right. When you have a little bit of time to have some retrospect of what you were doing and realize that, that there were signs there. Let's just say that. Right. Mm-hmm. You're like, oh, yeah, this, or things that they might have said to you that were very clear and you just didn't want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this person several times said things to me that I probably should have really taken to heart. So like there's no blame in this girl. Like I kind of like, again, retrospect. I have had time now and going,
think about it.
Yeah, she did kind of say this and she did kind of say that. And now, don't get me wrong. There were also, I don't know what to call them, false flags. Like we still had sex and talked all the time. And like, so it was a very weird gray area. Looking back, let's just say that.
Right.
But this girl also was always going through turmoil. So I think that I would just happen to be that shoulder, right? I was kind of always there, where that was kind of my fault too. I was always there. And that can also be the kiss of death. If you're the person who always picks up the phone when you're not getting the reciprocation that you think you deserve, that's kind of on you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say kind of. It was on me. So,
well, I won't fight when somebody says they don't want something. I'll be like, all right, I'm backing off, and I don't go back to that. I don't like to revisit heartache. I'm like, can we just go through this once? I mean, I have, don't get me wrong, but you would hope that you learn that you don't have to, do a Groundhog's Day on your life with the same shit over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I totally agree. And look, I will tell you that I think I'm getting better with that. When someone kind of says, hey, this is kind of where it's at, I just go, okay. I don't want to hang around to see what's going to happen.
Right.
If I tell you this is what I want and you're like hesitant, then okay.
Yeah.
Move on. Like,
you definitely shouldn't.
You just can't. It's not healthy. And look, do people come back into your life sometimes? Absolutely.
All the time.
All the time. And I kind of told them that. I said, you don't know. Like, people come into your life years later. Like, and I'll tell you, because it happened to me. I dated her when I was 24 years old, and she came back into my life about a year ago. So, and we only dated 2.5 years. So like 26 to 55, 54, whatever the hell I was. 54, because I think I had just turned it. So like, it does, weird shit happens. Like, I don't want to, I don't want to say that it doesn't, but you know, you also can't sit around waiting for someone to change their mind.
No. No, and why would you want somebody that their mind was somewhere else? I mean, if you think about it, who wants to live that life? Don't not want to be with me and then think, oh, I now I know. Fuck that. Like, quit not knowing.
Right.
Or quit knowing. Just go back to being the one that doesn't know and isn't going to get any better.
Here's the other problem that at least that I find, and it's my bad spot. You know, this person is very like, cut him off forever.
Wow.
Like, that's cool. You don't want it to work. Don't ever talk to me ever again. And wow. I'm like, yeah. And I was like, look, like, on paper, that sounds great. Like, but the reality is that people change and grow. It for the worst sometimes. Like, I don't want to say that it's always a positive thing. That's not what I'm saying. Because you might meet up with somebody 5 years later and they're 5 times worse.
Oh, I would hope not.
I've seen it.
Wow.
Not personally for me, but I have seen it in other friends. I had a friend who, yeah, this girl came back into his life and she was like 5 times as cunty. I was like, what happened to you? Like,
why would you want to get with somebody again if they're 5 times as worse?
But he had to re-meet them to see it.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, thankfully he didn't put his foot in the bear trap. Like, he cut it off fairly quickly. Like, a couple of times out, he was like, yeah, this isn't going to work. Like, but it was like on a lot of levels too. It wasn't just like that she was a bitch. It was just a lot of other things. Like, she wanted something. He was like, yeah, that's not me. Like, that's not going to happen. And she was like, oh, like, that's just not who I am. So it was not just a bitchy thing. It was like, they were different humans. And then sometimes you meet up later on in life and you're like, oh yeah, like, this still clicks. And, you know, maybe we were just immature then, and, you know, we can see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing right now is like, I don't know how to tell somebody or how to, I mean, I do know how to tell them, but I'm trying to do it with kid gloves, because I don't want to ruin somebody and be like, you know, the easiest thing to tell somebody is life does go on. And I'm telling you, it does. And I even told them that. I go, look, you don't know where you're going to be living in 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Your life might get turned upside down and you might meet the girl of your dreams.
And that's the hope. I mean, yeah, life does go on, and you're not only going to ever love one person in your life. That's just not.
It's not reality.
Not the way life happens, right?
No, it's not reality.
And there's different types of love, and you could love people on different levels at different strengths as well. And, you know, I think to myself, I'm glad I had the life I had, because if I didn't, I wouldn't know what love was. You have to experience heartbreak. You have to experience pain. You have to experience the joy. You have to experience every bit of it in order for you to understand it and to live it and to grow with it. And that's just life.
Yeah.
You have to.
Pain is part of life.
Absolutely.
It gives you, I want to say, armor. That's the only way that I guess in my head I can put it. But it gives you armor against things that as you get older, you're just less likely to be devastated by it. You know,
And I think time and life also teaches you that if it's meant to be, it's going to come back around. And there's nothing we could do to fix that, change that, manipulate that. Like if it's somebody that's supposed to be in your life, you bet they're going to come around over and over again sometimes. You know, it just doesn't, it doesn't mean that you're never going to see. God, when I was young, I remember one of my best friends moving. When he moved back to El Paso, I was like, I'm never going to see him again. I've seen him his whole life. Like, come on. Like, why would I never see him? He only lives in El Paso. You grow up. If you want to make time, you make time. But I remember that feeling of like devastation. Like my best friend is gone. And I think about it now, he's not my best friend. We're not as close as we used to be. We don't have that same connection. Mm-hmm. And life is still really good. And so that, you know, that innocence that you lose with time, because that's what happens. You lose that with time. You learn that there's something else coming right around the corner, or there's someone else coming right around the corner, or you don't have to fit a mold that no longer serves either of you. You know, you could get out and do more, be more, have more. Like, experience is what life is all about. And if it's not working and it's time to go, it's time to go. Have another experience, because there's always one around the corner.
I agree. And I also think that for people out there who are going through breakups and divorces and heartbreaks for the first time, you know, it's hard for anyone to think that you're going to wash out on the other side. Mm-hmm. And I thought the exact same thing when I was going through my divorce. I was like, I'm never going to be okay. Because
and here you are.
Yeah, because when it's happening, it
hurts.
It's the most devastating shit in the whole world.
Right.
You know, because you think like, I've been with this person for a long time. Yeah, I have children with them. I have a house. I have, you know, whatever it is, whatever the menagerie.
I didn't care about that stuff, but I just felt like, oh, fuck, I totally failed. I couldn't make it work. I couldn't fix it. I couldn't change. I couldn't be what I needed to be to make it work. But man, that was a crisis at the time. And now I look back and go, it was meant to be. It's just something that wasn't supposed to stay the same.
But I think part of those things that I'm talking about are those failures, you think, like, because you always think like, oh, we got a house, you know, we had a kid, if you had kids or whatever the things, you start a business, whatever, all the monstrous things that you do during a marriage, right? And you think like, I thought the same. I thought I failed. I thought I failed as a person. That was kind of one of my bigger things too. I thought I just,
you know what, mine was a little different. I felt like I failed my best friend. Like I couldn't put into words anymore. Like there was nothing to talk about. We talked. I'm not one to sit and not talk. Mm-hmm. But I felt like I failed my best friend. Like it just, I never had that feeling of losing a best friend that I loved, that I tried everything to support and do for. And I didn't have the ill will. I just didn't want to do it anymore. And I couldn't fix that.
Yeah, I think for me, I was more what's the best way? I think that because I had a young son, I also think that I was looking at like, what did I do? Like, because I mean, I come from a divorced family, so I think that you can get through it.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a deal, but I just wanted to make sure I didn't damage him.
Yeah. I I don't know that experience damages anybody. I think that experience teaches us lessons, and some are good and some are bad and some are horrible and some work out to be amazing. And I don't think any one thing ruins any one person. It's definitely a group of things. Life
for me, yeah, for me, I kind of agree, just because my parents, I tried to mold my divorce after what I remember my parents doing. Like, I knew both my parents loved me. I saw both of them. They both, one didn't treat me better than the other. Like, they were on the same page, and I wanted to make sure that I did the same with my son. When we got divorced, I told my ex-wife, like, look, we need to have the same game plan, because I also didn't want him working against both of us.
No, that could be bad too.
He tried a little
in between the parents. That's just not bad.
He tried. Well, and then he tried to play like good cop, bad cop. Like, he'd come home and be like, she did this.
Mm.
And then she would say the same thing. Like, he'd go there and be like, Dad's being mean to me. Like, so he would try, but she was really good. Like, she would call me and go, hey, he said this. And I go, yeah, this is why. She go, oh, okay. And just keep going. Like, we never let it blow up.
Yeah.
So, and I think that that's what everyone needs to kind of do the same thing with when you're going through a heartache or going through a heartbreak and breaking up with somebody is, look, it's very, very easy to see the bad times, and it's really easy to see the good times, right? You can see both as what they are, but at the end, I think that you that the good times were good for whatever the reasons were at the time. Like, you had a lot of money at the time, life was great. And then the super rock bottom times, we all go through,
absolutely.
It's the in between where you can go, oh, look, we know this was great. She was good. She did this, or he did this, or whatever. But we aren't good for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know several people who are in toxic relationships.
Yeah, that seems to be a common theme amongst people our age, just where they're at in their life and what they're going through and how they're going through. Doesn't seem like a fun time.
It was wild. There was a friend of mine that I worked with, and her relationship with her ex-husband was utterly crazy. Like, and I'm talking like fighting each other. They drink every night, and it was just crazy. It was just a crazy, crazy, crazy thing. And now looking back on it, like, we talk every blue moon. And she's just different. She got past it. She knows she doesn't want to be in that ever again. And it takes that. And they were together. Oh, I know she told me it was like high school years. And I think they didn't divorce until I was there. I think I left in 2009 or 10. So, like, they were together almost 20 years. Like, it was just, she told me it was always that bonkers. Maybe not in the very, very beginning, because, like, it never is. But, it went off the rails, and it just stayed this crazy train, like, for fucking, 15 years. And I was like, how? And then, of course, kids are always this wild answer. Like, oh, I want to stay together until the kids are this age. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, sure. I can understand it. I can understand it on paper. Because, yeah, you're trying to, like, not uproot them, and you're trying not to do this. But being in the same
call
house.
bullshit on that.
No, I don't call bullshit on the uprooting and like, cause like, look, I know women who have tried to take their kids out of state.
Yeah.
Which is one, illegal, but secondly, crazy. Like, stop. But I'll tell you for sure that you can be fine and be part of a divorced family and your kids will be fine as long as it's being done correctly. So by saying, oh, I'm going to wait for them to be whatever, 18, let's just say 18, because it's the legal age, right?
Right.
I've heard that from several friends, just a lot of times. And I'm like, look, it's not realistic. All you're doing is really showing your kids stay in a shitty relationship until your kids are old.
Yep.
That's all you're doing. You're teaching them. And here's the other thing. By staying in a shitty relationship, and I mean an outright shitty relationship, you're how can I say this? If you're a female and you're in a shitty relationship and it's pretty well known, right, inside the family, what you're teaching your daughters is it's okay to stay in something that's so shitty because of whatever. They pay the bills. They pay half the rent. They, take care of this, whatever it is. All you're doing is handing that down to the next generation in your family to just do the same shit. And I've seen that happen where the daughter just fucking Xeroxed it. Did the exact same shit. Like, oh.
Well, and men with sons will do the same. Like whatever you teach your kid is what they consider the norm. And then, they're going to have to go through their life and try to figure out what their norm is, which is probably going to be something completely different than what you had with your person. Hopefully they make better mistakes or they make different ones and that happens. But you're teaching them the foundation, period. So whatever you do with that, it's on you.
Yeah, I agree. I shouldn't say it's just women. That wasn't a very fair statement because dudes will do the same crazy shit.
I think, in my experience, and this has been through my life, I think that men they really eat a big shit sandwich in relationships. You know what I mean? And they go through it, I think, even more so than women do because they don't talk about it, because they do stay quiet, because they don't know how to get help to come to whatever decisions they need to have or realizations, or I don't know. I think men suffer in silence a lot more in this situation than women do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that more women will seek out therapy where men won't.
Right.
Now, to be fair to some men, I think men do their best to talk to their friends.
I don't think men talk much. That's just the vibe I get.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Because I don't want to say that there's outliers, because there's outliers in every, there's outliers in women. Women don't talk to people either.
At times, yes.
So yeah, I would say that mostly that is a true statement. Men don't talk enough. But I think the thing is too, is that we all try to handle it on our own. And I think that women, and I'll put it in quotes, like, look, as independent as we all are, we all have someone to talk to. I think that there's a lot of dudes that have female friends and they just kind of go, hey, this.
Or they have hairdressers that they'll come and dump all their shit on.
That's, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Free therapy. Sort of.
No, it's not free because I will charge them.
Yeah.
I tell them, is this a therapy session or am I doing your hair?
Right. And if it's both, it's really bad.
Yeah. Yeah. I better like you.
Yeah. Look, I think that the biggest statement that I can say from this, at least for a lot of people out there, and we've said it on this show a bazillion times because we've talked about our real lives. Life goes on.
It does. It
does.
Thankfully, it does. You're not going to be stuck in any situation. The worst time I ever felt in my life, I will never have to experience that again. I can't even pull all of the hurt that I had inside of me out to feel that again. I just won't. It just doesn't happen. You grow, you learn, you evolve. Life goes on. Situations change. The grass does get greener. You just have to water it. Like there's so much that's waiting for you after a breakup, and I was told once that God, you don't ever know what God is sparing you from by something happening. And I remember thinking that about someone when I broke up, and I looked at his life versus my life, and I was like, well, I didn't have to go through that. Well, I didn't have to go through that. I didn't have to go through that either. Like I saw after time how much better my life was not having to deal with that situation. Like it would have been a lot harder to stay there and to deal with it. And I was grateful to God that I wasn't in that situation any longer. Although I missed the person, I was grateful that it was over. And that's just how life is. And I think when you're young and you're in love and you get stuck with devastation, you're never going to think about that it moves on or that there's going to be other things. It almost seems like it's the end all be all of life. And I remember I was there, but it's so not the end all be all. There's so many times in your life, if you just took a different road, you would end up with a different life, with a different person at a different time in a different situation. And we're just on a path to find our way to get, to find the answers that we need as a soul. And we move on and life changes quickly. And if you don't believe that, try to go through an earthquake where your whole life is devastated and everything is on the floor, broken and oozing and dead and what have you. And you pick it all up and you throw it away and you start all over again. That's kind of how a breakup is. Like it's messy and it hurts and it feels like the biggest loss at the time, but it's not. You'll have worse. You'll have harder. You'll have better. You'll have a more like intense situation. Life just throws you different things, and it's up to you to just have some faith that you're going to get through it.
Right. Yeah. You have to realize that at the end of the day, you can battle back from pretty much anything.
Yeah. Anything. Yeah. Yeah, we could talk about that for days myself, but yeah, you could get through the biggest broken heart and still have an amazing life come to you. And it's not just, it's not just breakups. Like, I don't talk to my kid. That was a huge loss that I had to overcome. Or my mom passing away again. That was another huge loss. Like it doesn't just come in breakups. I would venture to say that the breakups were a little bit easier than the other life experience that were harder to overcome, So you just have to put your experience in front of you and say, okay, if I went through this, I could get through that. And hopefully you get to where you're okay and you're open and willing for somebody else to come in and fill that space. And if you're lucky, you'll have even better than you had before.
Exactly. The pain, this is how I look at any bad thing in your life. It's all scar tissue.
Yeah, it is.
You know, like it's going to just continuously scar up. Yeah, you can cut it a bazillion times and it's going to scar up, and it's going to teach you that not that there's always a better thing, because I don't always agree with that statement. You know, like you said, like the grass is greener on the other side if you water it or hop the fence.
Yeah.
There's other ways of like finding the green grass, but once you get there, you do have to water it. So, for young folks, actually for any folks, but young people, you know, yes, young heartbreak is the worst. It
is gut wrenching.
Yeah, it'll throw you into a loop sometimes. That's where you have to kind of try to find the big positive of it. Yeah. That it is, you know, it is something that'll go on. It is something that you know, you're going to meet somebody else and you're going to go, oh, this is what I was, you know,
this
really
is
missing.
Way better than what I had.
Yeah, this is what I was missing, because it doesn't mean that the other person wasn't giving you something good. It just means that they weren't giving you exactly what you thought you needed. And look, it being single in today's day and age to some people is better.
Right? I think for me I was happy being married. I've been happy dating. I've been happy being single. But the common denominator is me. I have chosen to be happy. I chose to look at life differently so that I didn't have all of this hanging over my head. Because I mean, loss could go on forever. You could literally torture yourself with it forever and be miserable and not have, you know, your life together and think of all you lost or you failed at or whatever. But if you want to stay in that, you're just wasting days. Like, go through it, feel what you got to feel, but then be open to life moving on, because ultimately life always moves on.
Yeah.
And it's not ever going to stay the same. So just prepare for that and get into you. What makes you happy? Do things that create a place where you're not sulking and being bitter and stalking people. Like, let them go. Somebody doesn't want to love you. Please, for everything holy on this earth, let them go.
Yeah.
And if you're supposed to be with them, there's nothing you could do about it. But I don't want to spend 10 years being miserable, not being loved. I don't want to go a month with somebody that doesn't want to be with me. Who needs that shit?
Right.
Find stuff that makes you happy. Buy a fucking Harley. I'm telling you, that fixes so many things.
Yeah. I think that there's a lot to that. I think that taking care of you in the end of the day is the best suit for the soul.
It is.
People, other companions, or, you know, whatever you want to call that, relationship wise, shouldn't be the only thing. It should fill voids in you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like if you're, let's just say young, if you're a gamer and you're, you know, look, the person who's going to be in your life has to realize that's what you like to do. If they're going to bitch and moan about it all the time, it's never going to work. Let them go.
Yep.
Get yourself a gamer girl. I kind of have
there.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty. It's kind of like me. Like, look, I do photography and I tell people, like, look, I take pictures of half naked girls. That's just the way it is. My answer to that is, cool. If you're uncomfortable, come to a shoot with me and help me out. then you'll realize exactly what it is, that it's work. It sucks. It's not what you think it is. And it's not hitting on girls for 2 hours. It's nothing like that. And I've told somebody that recently and they were like, oh, you'd let me do that? Yeah. Then you're going to realize.
To hide.
Yeah. And not only that, you're going to realize you don't like holding a light for fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
Because it's not fun. I mean, it is fun, but it's more work than people think it is. You know, like I went and shot pictures of a friend of mine and, you know, we're in a studio, there's lights, it's blazing ass hot in there. We had fans going everywhere, you know, and the sweat is rolling down my head. And here she is like sitting on the bed with a fan on her. Like, okay. I'm like, you ready? She's like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. She's like, maybe you should sit down for a second. I was like, yeah, maybe I should. But
that's funny.
But you have to connect with somebody who's going to be like a puzzle piece. You can't be someone else for somebody else.
No.
You'll just be miserable.
Yep.
You know, will you bend for people? Absolutely. I think
you're supposed to.
Yes. But if you're going to be someone you're not, then
you're doing it wrong.
You're going to be miserable for the rest of your life. You're going to get the small things out of whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And then one day you're going to wake up and go, yeah, I don't like this guy. I liked him for this at that time, whatever it was that it was filling a void. But you realize you're like, yeah, I can't stomach the way he chews crackers. Like, and I'm not saying that that's a reason to break up with somebody, but that turns into, you know, he doesn't clean the hair up in the shower. He doesn't want to go dancing with me. He doesn't, it turns in, then you realize the bigger picture and you're like, oh, it has nothing to do with the crackers. It has to do with just, we're not compatible. We're not the same. We're not looking for this.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but this is why divorce rates are so high, I think, with women later in life, because they wake up one day and go, I'm just not happy. Okay. And I think, I don't want to get into it too deep, but I think men stay in relationships way too long because we don't realize things are bad. We're just like, whatever. Like, yeah, I can see where it can be bad, but we're just too simple and you guys aren't. Mm-hmm. So, you know, and I think that, but I think men love hard. Like,
oh, absolutely.
And not that women don't, but I think men just love hard. When we find somebody, we dig in and we will fight until the, you know, last breath. And then even after that, maybe not give up for a little while. But then I think men, when we cut it off, we cut it off.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap. And I think that's where a lot of men go, I'll never talk to that person ever again. And I don't give a shit.
And they mean it.
Yeah. I try to stay friends with people. And when I mean friends, like I've had people go, well, they're still your friend. I said, like, what is a friend? Like there is levels of that. Like there's people that I talk to twice a year. I send them a Christmas text and a birthday text. Just, you know, because they're part of my life for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to check in. I want to make sure she's still okay and she's alive and, you know, things are, but I'm not chasing her down either. Like I'm not,
right.
I'm not going, what are you doing? Like, I don't say hi every month. Like life has gone on and we both chose that. So
I agree.
So my thing is, you know, I think I'm going to have some days ahead of me of trying to help my friend out and do my best to tell them that it's going to be okay. And it's a rough one. And there's nothing worse than hearing from somebody that's on the phone with somebody and they just go, I just need a hug right now. And you're like, wish you were here. It's because I've been there.
You got one coming,
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, don't worry. When I see you, like, there's one here for you and I'm here for you. But because I've been there. I remember sitting in an empty room with a sleeping kid upstairs and just being like, I really needed somebody. And thankfully, people come into your life for different reasons. And
yes, they do.
And an old friend came into my life that I could talk to. And I was lucky. And it was a person I could talk to on the phone and then we could talk. So it was, even though texting was big then, it was still helpful.
Yeah. So. I would say be kind to yourself and know that this isn't supposed to be right now, but if it's supposed to be, it will at some point. But in the meantime, find you. Do things that make you happy, do things that bring you peace, and we'll see what happens next, but know that there's always another situation. There's always something right around the corner.
Correct. And I think I'll take that, and that's kind of what I'll say to them.
Yeah.
Like, if it's meant to be, it will. And,
and don't ever beg somebody to love you. Like, you don't want that either.
Correct.
So you have to let them go and just, if they're meant to be, they'll come back around and come back around and come back around. Yeah. That's just how it is in life.
It's very true. And it's funny,
not,
like,
you won't think about it that much.
It's you don't realize how many exes are Australian because they're boomerangs and they'll keep coming back. And sometimes the harder you throw them away, they come up. Coming back quick.
Yeah. I don't, what's funny is I don't call people back. Like when it's done or when I've been treated bad enough or don't like it, I just don't call back.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be bad. It's just not going to happen for a while. And they know, like, she won't be calling me anytime soon. And I don't. Yeah. Because when you let it go, really let it go. Because if it's supposed to be, trust me, it'll find you. It will find you. But don't chase it around either. If somebody doesn't want to love you, leave them alone.
Yeah. I also think that you can if your relationship was as good as everyone thought it was, right? If you had a good relationship with somebody and you want to have some kind of relationship in the future with them, it's okay to tell somebody like, we can't talk right now.
Yeah.
And I think that that's incredibly healthy. So if you're part of that, it's okay to say like, this is not a good idea.
Not right now.
Yeah. And when the time is right, we'll both be able to do it. And he just never, and sometimes it will never be right.
Yeah. But if I get the chance to do it, you're in trouble.
Yeah. And look, I think that there's positives in a lot of that stuff. Just know that like, it's going to be fine. Like, I know
it's going to be a bumpy ride. Just get ready.
It's hard. It's not easy, but just, and get through it. Just,
You'll get through it.
Yeah.
You will get through it.
Just get through the pain. Sometimes it's better just to take it, it's the surgery thing, right? And like a lot of people don't want to have surgery because it's like, but I'm going to be in pain and it's going to hurt and it's going to, yeah. But the end is amazing. You're like, I feel so much better. I can walk again or whatever it is.
I could breathe again.
I can breathe again. Oh, yeah. I'm so glad I went through the nose surgery. That was like one of the best ones I ever did. The shoulder one, I'm still kind of like, ooh, maybe I fucked up on that one, but it's just still healing. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
But all in all, that's what relationships are. They're things that you're going to have to go through some of the shit to come out.
It's with friendships. Like I said, it's with kids, it's with parents,
Yeah.
Everybody evolves, everybody changes, everybody grows, and you don't always grow together.
Yep.
Sometimes you have to separate. So just know that it all comes. I said that before. They all come back.
Yeah.
They will. Give it some time.
And
don't be a dumbass.
Someone will fill the void, whether it's a friend, a girlfriend, a male friend. If you're a guy, like someone's going to fill that void for you and you're going to go, oh yeah. Like, I don't even know why I was down.
Right.
So it's all part of that. Like I get it. It's all good.
Yep.
All right, Miss Tina, we're going to roll this out. I know. Oh, sorry. We're a day late, but lots was going on.
We're a couple days late.
Yeah. But there's a lot going. Well, not really. It's Thursday. It's going to come out today. I'm going to edit it and put it out right now. So we'll be a day late, but there's a lot going on all over the place.
Life is a happening.
But I'm going to do my best to get ahead here for a little bit. I'm going to sit down with Tina and see if we can't on a day record a bunch of them and get ahead just so we're not stressed out.
Let's do it.
Anyway, it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday and keep checking us out. We appreciate it. For Tina, I'm Rob. We'll see you in a week. Bye.
See ya.